you doing? Either with signing it or with, oh no, we still want to buy the house. Yeah, send him the release of earnestly. See what he does. It's just poking him. It'll be great. It'll be funny. It'll be funny for me, man. Huh? Just do that. Just be like, hey, I guess we put him under an agreement on the repairs. Here you go. I guess it is your own house, so yeah. You can pay me 3%. I mean, I'll even take 1.5%, actually. Yeah.
How you doing? Happy almost end of the decade. What's the best thing that's happened to you this decade? You got married? Shout some things out. What's the good things that have happened to you in the last 10 years? Grandkids, marriage, what else? Real estate? A career in real estate. Kate? What's that? 3 children in 3 years. Boom. And you're here. Somebody's going to be thankful for babysitters. What else? Last decade. Highlights. What have you had?
Became a realtor.
Became a realtor.
No kids.
No kids. From 3 kids to no kids.
Moved back to Nashville.
Moved back to Nashville.
Got my master's degree.
Got her master's degree.
That's 10 years ago.
10 years is a long time. Party like it's 19. No, it was 20 years. 1999. Yeah. Party like it's 2009. Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm excited about the new decade. This is some of you all have read the book, The Slight Edge. I'm going to talk a little bit about it today for a minute. Just to kind of get you to wrap up the year. But this is a cool book. And there's a guy named Jeff Olson, and this is a quote of his, and he says, "Mastery is not an exalted state that lives at the end of the path. It is a state of mind that lives at the very beginning." Let me read that one more time. Mastery is not an exalted state that lives at the end of the path. It is a state of mind that lives at the very beginning. So I would encourage you, and all of us, and me too, to take some time to one, relax over the holidays, but just get to a place where you can focus on where you are now and where you want to be, and think through that. Think about what you've done in the last decade. I bet you all done some really incredible things, and I think it's a testament to each of you that you're here and that you are that you're showing up every day. So I'm really grateful for all of you. I'm grateful to be here. We're going to talk a lot about some exciting things that we've done and that we're doing next year as well here later in the meeting. So a couple of housekeeping things. We have sales meeting today. Angela, you having a Franklin sales meeting tomorrow?
We actually are doing a potluck.
They're having a party instead. Party in Franklin tomorrow. Everybody show up 9:30. You have to bring something. And then Thursday, Brent, you doing a VMIT training?
Yes.
So that still is the last class of the year of the decade. And then we're going to close the offices at 4 o'clock because there's a holiday party at 6 o'clock at Distant Center in Webster, Houston. So who's going to that? You're going? Oh, good. 2 people are going. Awesome. Okay, a lot of people. For those who are streaming, everybody raise their hand, so y'all come too. All right. So, yeah.
I say something real quick. So I walked in 2 minutes late. I probably missed your gratitude section or whatever.
Well, I just skipped over it, so
Or you
it's
just
all right.
skipped over it. I just want to say something. I am extremely grateful for Rebecca for where she's at.
Where's Rebecca?
Rebecca? I guess she's not here today. So, I'll try to get through this without crying. But now one of the hardest weeks I've ever had in my life was last week. Rebecca Cooper stepped up and helped me in my business so that I could kind of concentrate on what was going on. And you all need to know that you've got friends in here that can help you if you've got something going on. Please reach out to them because it was the biggest relief that I could possibly have when she offered to help do some of my business things so that I could gather myself for what was going on at home. And you may not know that hey, let me make some phone calls for you. Let me do this if you see somebody that you know that's struggling or having problems. And it was the biggest relief in the world to me. And I wanted so grateful for her, but I wanted you all to know too that you can do that for a friend if you see that they might be having some problems or issues, they're having a hard time. Offer to make some phone calls for them. Offer to go get this for their client or go do this because it was a lifesaver for you. So I just wanted to have that see that.
That was what it's all about. That's an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that. What else are y'all grateful for? You're talking to us. Scott?
I'm going to be granddad in May.
Scott's gonna be granddad! You must have had a kid when you were young. Like a baby.
Granddad, hey.
What are you gonna be called?
I don't have to think about that, I don't know. Not Pop.
Not Pop, or Pops, or anything like that.
Dude, probably Dude or something.
Dude, the man, dude man. What else are y'all grateful for?
Grateful for 25 years of marriage.
25 years of marriage today. Happy anniversary. Where's y'all meet? Y'all meet in Chattanooga?
No? Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah. So you won't?
25 years of marriage with one person. Thanks, Roy. You need to go there. What else? Hunter, I'm going to call you out. What are you grateful for today?
Grateful for Stephanie and speaking up and reaching out when she needed help.
That's awesome. Very good. All right. So, did y'all have one? I know y'all feeling grateful. News. Connie. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I told Tony I'm 36 again. Anyway. Okay, grades, 3.875. This is really, I want to point this out because normally December is like one of the highest rate months. You know, just a lot of consumer confidence and, you know, people are shopping for Christmas. And last year, I think they were like close to 5, like 4.75. So this is amazing. Just make sure you know, let your clients know that rates are still really, really good. So, all right? That's all I got.
All right.
Happy birthday, Connie. Thanks for all you do. All right. So Turnip Green is here. How do you want to introduce them? All right. So we got Leah and Amy. Leah Sherry and Amy is it guys? So I pronounce it? Yeah. There you go. So they're going to tell you a little bit about what they do. And here you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're grateful to be here. And I really like the question that kicked this off, thinking about the last decade, because as you said that, of course, like I was reliving that movie of my life, trying to forget some of the scenes. But I grew up communally on this very funny little hippie commune that my grandparents started, which I'm not here to talk about today, but that was partly in the last decade. But that did give me a lot of the skills and sort of lens that I live my life right now through. So grew up communally, became a teacher. I was the oldest of 8 kids. Learned very quickly that being the oldest, I was kind of like put in that mother wrangler role. And I learned that there's a lot of power in both art, creativity, and nature. So we lived way out in the woods on the river, so we did a lot of running around and climbing trees and making things out of sticks and all of that. So that's a lot of actually what I get to do in my adult life at Turnip Green, which is tight. But we do a lot more than just fun arts and crafts and working with kids. So we are a nonprofit. We basically exist to divert materials from the landfill and get them back to people who really need them. So teachers, students, artists, anyone in the community can benefit from our service. We really welcome all walks of life. We do this in 4 ways. So we have a creative reuse center. It's about a 5,000 square foot warehouse in Wedgwood, Houston. We take hard to recycle materials, weird materials, things that Goodwill would reject because it's just too strange. That stuff goes to Turnip Green. Because if I've learned 2 things with being a teacher and being an artist, those are 2 groups of people who can do stuff with anything. So we get a lot of those people coming in and repurposing those items for their classrooms or for their art projects. We get an average right now of 112 pounds of materials every hour we're open. We started tracking in 2014 by weighing everything that came through our door, and we've diverted over 500,000 pounds from the landfill to date. And since I've been the director in 2017, it's doubled every year. So we're still growing, which is wonderful. So we have the Creative Reuse Center where we can take materials, and also everything is open to the community to shop for, and it's all name your own price. That way we can keep things really accessible. We never argue with anyone. Even if you don't have any money, that's totally fine. We just want you to have these materials and for them to not be in the landfill. The second way we do this is we have 2 green galleries. So we have 2 art galleries within our space. We're on the Wedgwood Houston Art Crawl Loop. And we feature artists who use repurposed materials. And we've shown about 150 artists just in 2019 so far and given them a platform to show their work. The third thing we do is we have an open studio space. Whenever I moved to Nashville, and I know you're all in the realty game, so like you get it, but I was blown away. From the hippie commune in Roosevelt, Arkansas, was like a little more expensive for way less space. And I was like, well, I'm an artist and I make big things, what do I do? So we have an open studio space that's free to use. Anytime we're open, artists, families, homeschool groups, anyone can come in, hang out, drink coffee, make art. And the fourth thing we do, which is our largest area of service, is education outreach. So this is my background, and this is what I really wanted to bring to Turnip Green. I think sustainability is super important. I think art is super important, but it's only important if we're all learning about it together, right? And we're all feeling empowered. So I basically wrote this curriculum, and it teaches a lot of like art history and creativity and math and science, all the STEAM stuff. But it's all through hands-on art projects, and it's all through reused materials, like stuff we get at Turnip Green. And I pitched it to a few different schools, and luckily a few of them were like, sure. I mean, I realize now because I was like, we'll do it for free, and they're like, yeah, come on. And I was like, wow, you're doing me such a huge favor. But they were, because they were letting us like really pilot these programs. So we did this in a few metro schools, and I really wanted to target very like disadvantaged communities. The commune was really cool, but we had a lot of issues, and like to the point where I was actually removed for a while because my parents just didn't, so good people, but not always the best strategies for parenting. So I really identify with these kids who don't necessarily know when they're getting their next meal or where they're going to sleep that night. Like that's where my heart is, because I can truly identify with that, and I learned that art is really healing to these kids. So cut to now. We go into these schools and we pilot these programs. I hired a few of my friends who are artists, and we made sure to find money to pay them because their work is valuable. And NNPS started tracking our data, because that's really important when you're in schools. You want to make sure the kids are increasing their math and literacy and their attendance. So they started doing that, and they found out that kids going to our programs were going to school more. Their math scores were shooting up, and their literacy scores were shooting up. So this was all good news to us, especially because Metro Schools was like, let's try some more. Every year they continued adding on, so now we have 16 going on. We're the largest after-school care provider with free programs in all of Metro Schools now, and we're continuing to grow and offer more every day. So we have some programs that we're with the kids 15 to 20 hours a week. And I really also believe in wraparound services. Art is fun, but we do more than arts and crafts. We feed the kids, we do mindfulness activities with the kids, we do movement with the kids, we do math lessons and homework help. We do it all through hands-on learning and reused materials. They're all sustainability advocates. But we're really doing these wraparound services to treat the whole child. And it's been awesome to see, because some of that stuff, it's not like I can list it in our 4 areas of service. But I get to see these kids who like literally relax their shoulders whenever they get to step into their after-school program, and they get hugs and they sing songs and they really love their teaching artists. And so now we have 72 teachers who we get to pay to go into the community every single day, and that's also growing. So we have the Metro School program, so we also are a vendor for Metro Public Works. We do all of the reduce, reuse, recycle, rot, which is compost education for the city. Those are all things we can offer totally free of charge because it's sponsored by Public Works and Tennessee Department of Environment Conservation. And that's something that I think as adults you're all welcome to take advantage of. If you have a neighborhood group, or if you personally or your family or your church or anybody wants to learn more about those methods to reduce waste, you can definitely give us a call and we can work with you to do those things. So, that's a little bit about Turnip Green. I don't know if I went over, if you have any questions.
some of the funding sources to get this done?
That's a really good question. Oh, thank you. Yes, so we have a few different revenue streams. I do a lot of grant writing. The contracts with Metro Schools and Public Works I'm talking about, I wrote an RFP for those, so we're on a 5-year contract. We get paid through both of those. And the store actually pays for itself. I mean, we are not getting rich off of it by any means, but it does sustain itself and the bills and the staff to work it. And just donations and gifts from friends and donors. Yeah.
Where's the store?
407 Houston Street in Wedgwood, Houston.
In the capital campaign.
Oh, but not for long. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, so we were over in East Nashville near 5 Points, and we had that thing happen where developers scooped up the building. And can't even imagine. But it's okay. It's okay. So we were subletting. So long story short, we had 4 months to find a new location. Remember, this is like 100 pounds of materials coming in every hour. This is a lot of stuff. So 4 months, we have to pack up our stuff, find a new space, which is 407 Houston Street now, move everything in. We were only closed for 2 days during that whole time, just because I thought it was more important to remain accessible than to like have a nice shiny store. But we are in the middle of a capital campaign. So what we have identified in our strategic plan is that it would be best for our organization to have an asset, which would be a building where we can really grow and provide all of the needs that the community is asking for. So if you want to learn more about that, anyone in this room might be happy to talk to you later. And I left some cards and information over here. Thank you.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thanks for all of nonprofits get something like over 30% of their support in the month of December. So just a reminder, as you're wrapping up the year, this would be a great place to contribute and help out.
Thank you very much. And so, cards up here if you want to hear the rest of the story about the commune. I'm curious. All right, so some tools. We've got just a reminder. These have been coming out for several months now. But there's a village newsletter. Who sends this out? Somebody else send this out. Just a reminder that is available. Caitlin works on that every single month, and it has a market update in it. And there's one for Davidson County and Williamson County. There's monthly events every single month. It shows different events. And then it also shows sports schedule and then just, ideas, kind of a soft, feel-good stuff, right? So a little art, little science. And then it'll come, if you send it out from Boomtown, it'll come customized from you. And you can do that. So you can either get it on the market over here under email marketing, or if you want to upload it like a Emma or a Constant Contact or a MailChimp. Or you can go into Boomtown, and if you have the upgraded account, you can select all and use the bulk actions button. If not, you can just send them individually to people. Or if you want us to send it for you, not a problem. Just because we can do the bulk actions on your behalf. So just let Caitlin know, hey, can you send the newsletter out to my database? No problem.
Can you customize that newsletter?
Can you customize the newsletter? You can a little bit, but it's not. If you really want to do like super customization, just talk to Caitlin about that, and she can help you with that. Cool. All right. So that's what it looks like. All right, coaching groups. We've talked about this in the past. A lot of you all have signed up for these. We're going to start these in January. We've got 2 that are running right now, and they're going really, really well. Who's in one of them? I see Millie and Lee back there. Adam, wait, give us a. You like it? You don't like it?
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. Millie says she likes it a lot. What do you like about it? On the spot.
It keeps you accountable.
Keeps you accountable?
You can track what works and what doesn't work and what you're wasting your time on.
You can track what works and what doesn't work and where you're spending your time. Wait, you got anything?
The support.
The support?
Yeah. The group support.
Cool. Peer support. That is a big thing. So it's not about the leader. It's really about peer-led support. So we've been identifying A lot of you all have emailed me and asked to be in one of these, and so we're going to roll these out in a couple of weeks at the start of the year. And they're going to meet once a week, 20-minute meetings. They're really cool. We're going to do some social time in between as well, probably once a month, once every month or two, and just get to know each other a little bit better and learn what works. So stay tuned for that. If you still haven't signed up and you want to sign up, just let me know. And we have, I think we've got 7, we have 2 going now. It's kind of pilot groups, and we have 7 more in the wings ready to start. So it's pretty exciting. Tips. Any questions on that? All right, tips. So Slight Edge. So just spend a little bit of time before Hunter gets going with his state of the company. But this is a really, has anybody seen this before? I've shown it once, I think, almost a year ago. So this is a really simple yet pretty involved graphic. It says a lot. So the concept of this book is, if you do certain things consistently over time, small things done consistently over time will have really big results when compounded, right? At the same time, small things done consistently over time will have really big results when compounded. So if I decide to consistently eat a big cheeseburger every day, one of them is not going to kill me, but 365 of them might. What's that movie, the McDonald's movie? Right, was it 30 days or something? Yeah, so like that was consistently done over time, right? So the concept is that whatever you do, whatever your decisions are, that they put you on a trajectory, right? And so you can either be going up or going down, or going maybe sideways, I don't know. But I thought this was kind of neat because ultimately the things that bring success are oftentimes uncomfortable early. But then when you get used to them, they get comfortable later. But like the Super Size Me, that was comfortable early. The salt tasted so good, right? And then you got addicted to it. And then it started becoming really uncomfortable. And so you start picking the wrong things, and that might take a month, that might take 10 years, but ultimately it will catch up with you. And so there's, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but ultimately your philosophy, your internal philosophy, how you perceive life, helps drive your attitude, and your attitude helps drive your actions help drive your results. And that affects your lifestyle, right? So the cool takeaway that I love though is that all of these things, there's no overnight success. You see people that are doing really well, like buying up land in 5 Points and developing it. That person's going to hell. They're not. But you see people who are doing really well, and you think, man, what do they have? What are they doing? Right? I want to do what they're doing. Well, it takes time. They started as a new agent at some point. They started maybe 3 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. But the key is that the things that they do are easy to do. It's not hard, right? But they're also easy not to do. And so I think what we do a lot here in this meeting and just in the company in general is talk about things that you can do. Hey, you want to grow your business? You can do this. That's easy. It's easy to do. It's also easy what? It's also really easy not to do. And I think recognizing that, don't feel like a failure. Just recognize that just because it's easy to do and I'm not doing it doesn't make it a failure. Just recognize that it's easy not to do. But it just takes a little bit of just one step, right? So we can talk more about this if y'all are interested in it, but it's a.
I'll back to the 40X and like picking 3 lead indicators.
Yeah, so that's really one of the key things with the 40X platform is these coaching groups are to take small things that you can do consistently over time and not try to do 100 things, but to try to do 2 or 3 and just do them consistently. And they're not hard, they're not rocket science, but most people don't do them consistently.
Good newsletter, write a thank you note.
Yep.
Whatever.
So you might pick out things. So for instance, some of y'all that are doing one of the pilot groups right now, what are your lead measures? What are you doing consistently?
Calling people, social media.
So you have a certain number of calls that you've given yourself, and I didn't give this to you, you gave it to yourself, right? You gave yourself a commitment to call a certain number of people every single week, just to touch base, right? Some people who said they want to increase their social media presence, they're giving themselves a challenge to say, all right, I'm going to do 5 social media posts every single week. Doesn't have to be over real estate, but I'm gonna make sure I'm out there and I'm visible. What are some of yours?
One networking event a week and 5 face-to-faces.
One networking event every week and 5 face-to-faces. And you've been doing that. And I can guarantee you, if you didn't give yourself that little bit of a commitment and know that you were going to show up amongst your friends, and they would ask you, hey, did you do that? It's probably easy to not do, right?
Yeah.
Because we all get tired, especially this time of year.
I would slack on the networking.
You slack on the networking events. Because sometimes the couch feels really good, right? So networking events easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. So this is pretty powerful stuff. But as you spend some time over the holidays, think through that and think through maybe how you can take that and incorporate it into your 2020 business plan in life. All right. Any questions on that? All right, Hunter's going to tell you a little bit about the year and where we're going.
All right. So, Zach always puts a picture up for me. So the picture today, this is, I'm a Wall Street Journal subscriber, and this is their Christmas gift. It's like an AI, they have their columnists that they do that treatment to. Oh, that's pretty cool. My hair has never looked that good. It's all computer generated.
When everything's in black and white.
Anyway, so all right, so we've been here about a year. It's been really fun. We came in, there was a lot of passion. That's kind of the one thing. A lot of people that really cared about Verge and wanted to make it stronger. And so that was the challenge we kind of started with. How do we take this great brand that's been around a long time, great company that's been around a long time, and just try and improve on it. Don't mess it up. So we, I don't know if y'all remember this. This was Zach's first survey. It was 2 questions. What do you think is the most important information the new Village folks and leadership team need to know in the near term, and what do you believe Village needs to do to become the strongest real estate organization in Middle Tennessee? And so, the responses, a lot of you guys filled that out and very helpful. And we've talked about this a lot, but the 4 things that you, that were clear among your responses: you wanted better marketing, more brand consistency, stronger communication, and you wanted to reduce costs. So we did that. The cost piece we did right away, and we reduced the transaction fee from $200 to $150. So which felt like it was in line. And then on the branding and marketing side, we kind of looked at what else was out there. It was residential real estate is not a super high bar a lot of times in terms of branding and marketing. There's a lot out there that's really busy. And so we came to you guys and said, all right, let's streamline our brand, get it really consistent, and we came up with, y'all remember the 4 choices? We had 4 different choices in terms of signs and logo, how we're going to treat it, and we had you guys vote on it. And the winner was, of course, this one, which we continue to get really strong feedback in the marketplace. The consistency is
Thank you for
helping.
voting for me.
That's right. Sorry, John and Andy, Barbara. Jane was the winner.
They're all sure you go John Fair on the cards.
That's right, yeah. John won the card. Look. We also updated, kind of took the branding and kind of updated a lot of marketing tools, yard signs, flyers, brochures. There's a lot of work that went into that. And then we looked at some of the tools that we were offering, and we really want to look at it. If we're spending money on something, it's got to be adding value to you, or at least a high enough percentage of you guys to make it work. We're not spending just to spend, but those dollars need to count. And so we've chosen a number of these things. One of the, I was like, Zach, what's Team? I've never used Team, but it's that's actually how you can reserve the conference rooms here. So if you don't know how to use Team, talk to Rachel. But and we do have some new conferences. Like one that I was talking to, an agent who's been around just this week, and some conference rooms we swapped up. We've people are officing now, and then I mentioned we added the front conference room, and they're like, well, I didn't know we could use that one. That was always kind of reserved for. What they said, the holies of holies or something. And so that is for you to use this front one up top. It's one of the nicer ones, got great light. So use them up. And we also added some conversation rooms, where we used to have offices. So we should have a good balance. Places you can come in, crash for a quick phone call. You got an important meeting. Anyway, I'll get off the conference room. So here's some of the tools that we've got over the last year. But we're excited. We're just getting started. We're excited for 2020. And we got some things to improve. One thing that's exciting is Village is a really attractive place to be right now. Nice office, kind of good platform. Most importantly, agents who are welcoming, friendly, and people want to work with. And I think that's really the most attractive part of Village right now, just kind of having a genuine, authentic, local brand. So we don't have a growth mandate here at Village. We don't have outside shareholders, no arbitrary growth targets. Our feeling is if we've got a solid platform, great agents, responsible growth's just gonna kind of happen and happen organically. And so that's kind of what we're about, kind of from the growth side. On new agents and mentoring, everyone was a new agent at some point. So we want to have, make sure we're finding the right new agents who are really set up to succeed. And so that's meant a revamped mentor program that really Brent Cooper has led this year for us, pretty much on a purely volunteer basis. Thank you, Brent. So a lot of you have been a part of that, and Colin's been really helpful in organizing that as well. But when a new agent looks to come on, there's kind of a process now that they go through. It includes an interview, a peer kind of review roundtable type thing. We've got some basic homework requirements, like just wanting to make sure that A, they're a good fit with us, and B, they're set up to succeed. So if someone rolls in and they've got 2 other jobs and they can't even kind of put together some sort of database to show who they're going to target, it's like, let's not invest our time and energy on someone we don't think is going to be successful. So that's been helpful. Next year, Lee Fund is going to join Brent and really help spearhead and take our mentoring program to the next level. Free up Brent to focus on his real business a little more. So we're thankful for Lee to be around. Kind of some of the changes you've seen on the broker front. Lee is now based downstairs here. We want more and plenty of broker coverage here. Obviously Zach's here every day. Colin's here full time every day. Lee's here in the office, kind of 9 to 1 regularly, available by phone afterwards. So we want to make sure, and in Franklin we've had a lot of growth there. So we've added Karen Baker along with Angela. So we've got good coverage there. We've got more growth on the broker side so that when you've got a need or a question, we want to be super responsive and helpful. So don't hesitate to look around, try and find someone, ask someone to help you, call them on the phone. We've got a lot of resources there to help you get any of your questions answered. So Village Assist and Hub, we've got basically recognizing that sometimes you know what to do, but actually having the time, patience, and expertise to do it as efficiently as someone else, those are 2 different things. And so we're really wanting to revamp hub on the technology side to be able to respond to any questions and any techniques, and getting you using the tools that we have in place. And also, same thing on Village Assist in terms of marketing, transaction management. We've moved them in the broker area, I guess, for lack of a better term, so that when you go in, you're greeted with someone, and they can kind of help triage you in the right place and make sure you've got you're getting the help you need. And so, stay tuned. More to come on that for 2020. On the education side, as you know, Bobby's decided to pass the leadership reins on the education front to Teddy Pins. This is actually kind of, they together came up with a 2020 plan and curriculum. Rebecca Cooper, who I shouted out earlier, she helped with that along with Ann Nilsson. So we've gotten a lot of input. Our goal here on the education front is to really have a consortium of both our agents, outside industry-leading professionals teaching us in order to provide a broad, fully encompassing education offering. So, and then wrapping up, Zach's mentioned the groups. This is super exciting for me. Just as you know, real estate can be like a lonely place sometimes, especially if you're not on a team. You're a solo agent, and so just to kind of have a way to not isolate ourselves, which can kind of lead to that anxiety, unneeded worry. So we're excited about these groups. Reach out to us if you're at all interested in joining one, leading one. You've got 5 or 6 people that you, kind of your crew, that you want to do this and meet with every week. This is going to kind of take some, a lot of work on our end to kind of organize and get you going, but also some proactivity on your part if you want to be in one of these groups. We're talking like some commitments that you have that you want to be doing every week, but then the meeting part is really a 20-minute meeting where you're getting together, going through what you did, and then for sure there'll be some relationship building and kind of that stuff that happens on the side, but the nuts and bolts should be not trying to take up another hour of your week, but check in. I did my stuff this week, tracking your progress towards whatever your big wild goal is, and so I'm really excited about that. I think it could really be transformative to kind of us as a company and to you kind of on your productivity side. So just wrapping up, it's been more fun than I thought it was going to be here and to get to kind of help lead Village. And so just kind of want to, in this season, make sure Zach's normally the one that leads the grateful side, but I am super grateful for each of you, and thanks for bringing it every day. All right. Anybody got any broker opens? Coming soon? How do I do this? Jane.
Well, I'm not using the phrase coming soon. All note that, please, okay? But I think I'm okay at Village to say this, but we're going to have a photo shoot tomorrow at noon. And it's Shadow Lane up in Inglewood. It's a sweet 1,600 square foot house, 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, typical ranch. We've priced it at $310, and I think there's some room for the next owner to come in and do their improvements. And it does need some. There's been some, it needs more. And these are folks who are looking for a buyer who will do that work once they're in. So stop by if you would like to preview.
All right, Christine.
And
Go on.
I'm supposed to be 360,000.
We got issues. So Christine's got 940 Gale Lane, number 134, 12 South Towers for $3.6 million. Gonna sell a new flashlight.
It's a deal. Does it have the gold toilets?
It's got the gold toilet. And
Yeah.
All right, Laura or Park, are you here? Laura's got 121 Bond Gap, Unit 4. Price to be determined, but it's south of $250,000. Stan Stanley.
Hey,
Got Springfield
There's a
going.
lot going on in
I love
Springfield. Don't be
Springfield.
scared. This particular house is in a development that's 35 minutes to downtown Nashville. So it really is a good alternative. You should consider it for your commuter clients. Anyway, it's 2,000 square feet with an additional 500 square feet below grade that's not included in that, $290K. Nice classic use of space, a dedicated dining room, tall ceilings, and a really kind of formal living room. Really nice big master suite. It's on the main level. 2-car garage, lots of extra storage. Call me about Springfield. I work very closely with the Chamber of Commerce and want to hook you up there. All right.
That's awesome. Anybody else got anything? All right, here we go. Amy Gills.
Sorry, it's not there, but it's just me through this morning. I've got under 225 in Woodland, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Fixed up inside, outside needs some work. It's definitely for your handyman client, but in a really good location and a really good price point.
All right. Anybody else? What do you do now? Takeaways? How about turnip green? That's like, that is awesome. I mean, like that, they're like getting it done. Like when you're giving money away, you want to know it's like being used wisely. To have a self-supporting component, their store going, they've got some funds coming in from schools and other places, and so we need to come alongside and help them keep going. That's awesome.
Whatever makes you feel
It's
better.
like something out of Fort Lauderdale.
Don't forget, holiday party. This Thursday.
This Thursday, who's going?
You cannot win the holiday party. You only lose the holiday. You're on your best behavior. Zach, you can only lose the holiday.
No.
Still black. Yeah.
We've all grown up over the years, right? All right, that's all we got today. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, real quick. Awards of Excellence reminder.
Yeah, just a reminder, it's the end of the year, which means it's now time for the Awards of Excellence.
End of the year, time for Awards of Excellence.
So a couple of things. You can find your points on the GreaterNashvilleRealtor.org site. If you go up to the top right-hand corner under Quick Links, go down to the Awards of Excellence, look for your name, you can find your points. Make sure that they're correct, if not, try to correct them as soon as possible. Also, you want to look at your minimum transaction. So you need 8 involvement points minimum, and you also need to meet the sales and transaction minimum. So go onto your RealTracks, look at your agent productivity, make sure that's correct too, because there could be issues there as well. Applications need to be in here no later than January 8th at 5 p.m. And the deadline for Greater Nashville Realtors is on the 10th at 5 p.m. So we need time to have the broker sign them, approve them, and get all of the information into Greater Nashville Realtors. So I'll put all the links on the Facebook page for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Anybody have questions now? Yes?
Did you talk about award points?
Award points,
There's
yes.
still opportunities.
There's- Correct. There's still opportunities, and I think the majority of them now are donations, if I'm not mistaken. So there are ways to get it, and that is under the Awards of Excellence. So again, your points are on the top right-hand corner under Quick Links, and then the application is under Special Events under the Awards of Excellence. So you can find the opportunities, applications, and rules all there. Okay? Any other questions? We need a ton of village representation this year. So get your applications in. Yes, Rebecca.
Separate from the awards of excellence that you're speaking of which I will not be a recipient this year, there is the education awards as well. So if you've completed 45 hours of CE this year, you are eligible to receive the Award of Excellence in Education from Greater Nashville. You do have to submit an application, but anyone who did Ninja, you've got 32 to start, so you might
That's
be
awesome.
eligible.
Good. Any other questions?
The theme is.
A royal affair. Yeah, it'll be a fun night. So everybody, again, we need village representation, so get your applications in. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. All right.
See you all Thursday evening, and have a wonderful week until then.